Hello, my name is Paul Churchland. I believe in the philosophical theories of functionalism and eliminative materialism.
Well, tell me, what is functionalism?
Functionalism is the view that mental states are based upon the role they play. For example, pain causes trauma and hurt on the body, so anything that holds that function is pain.
Is functionalism similar to the identity theory?
Yes, but the two are not the same. Identity theory says that mental states are identical to some physical state. Functionalists don't believe in the concrete idea of mental states equaling physical states. Instead, they take the weaker version in which a mental token equals a physical token.
So do physical states always have to correspond to mental states?
Well, from a functionalist point of view they cannot, because the universe is too large to have perfect match-ups of mental to physical states. Nature can put together similarly thinking creatures with different physical taxonomies.
But I've heard of the inverted spectrum thought experiment, where you may have a different sensation of red when looking at an apple than I do. Our visual sensations are functionally identical. That is contradictory, therefore functionalism must be false.
I can defend functionalism. Functional states do have intrinsic qualitative characteristics, but if sensations of red vary, that does not matter as long as all states are caused by red objects and all cause the viewer to believe that something is red.
Do functionalists believe in qualia?
Yes, in order to validate their position, functionalists must be aware that qualia exists. Functionalists know that though we are isomorphic to some creatures, we may have different qualia than them and thus experience different sensations.
Okay, well, what is eliminative materialism?
Eliminative materialism states that folk psychology does not accurately represent our inner states and activities. The common-sense psychological framework is misleading and gives a false concept of human behavior. For example, folk terms have been removed from science as they have been found to be false. Heat in bodies used to be thought of as a liquid measured as caloric fluid. When found that heat was actually the energy of molecules, caloric was replaced by kinetic. The same should be done for folk psychology terms.
What are the main arguments for eliminative materialism?
It clearly shows the faults and problems of folk psychology. For example, we use the word sleep to represent rest, when really there's deeper functions that we don't know about. Other words like memory, intelligence, and mental illness are all terms that we don't have a concrete definition for.
So, you're saying that we should be skeptical towards what we are told about the mind since it might be incorrect?
Yes. There are many mental phenomena and sensations that cannot be described in current psychological terms.
Isn't it a bit radical to say that you would like to fully eliminate folk psychology? Wouldn't revising some terms be an easier and more reasonable approach?
It is true that revision must be easier, but I believe that we are constantly being deceived by those terms. As I wrote in my article on eliminative materialism, our collective conceptual destiny lies substantially toward the revolutionary end of the spectrum.